welcome to the Maria Show. Today I'm finally going to be reviewing the School for Good and Evil movie that just came out on Netflix. So first of all, before I start anything, obviously major spoiler warnings for the whole movie because I'm going to be talking about that obviously, and also light spoiler warnings for the books because I will be like comparing it to each other and seeing like what's different, what's not, like that type of thing. If I say any like major spoiler warnings for the books, I'll try to say it, but just if there's people who have like only watched the movie and haven't read the books and want to do that, just I'll do that for you guys. So the movie actually starts off with the two school masters, which I thought was a really good idea because we didn't really get to know them a lot or like learn much about them throughout the series. We like Raphael was only like a villain that was kind of built towards until he was like a major villain in the third book, and then Raihan we didn't know anything about, so I like that they did that. I was very curious and interesting what angle they were going to go for, because in the movie it kind of suggests that the good brother survived and the evil one died, which is not what happened in the original story. So I thought that was interesting, and I was kind of like thinking in my head, okay, like maybe they're just changing it up and having the good brother like be the one that's alive and the bad one dead, but I was like, that doesn't really make sense. I thought that maybe like, okay, they're having the good brother alive, but then like Raphael is like a ghost that's like haunting people and taking them to the school and stuff, because he acted like a ghost. He didn't seem like that. Or I also thought that he could possibly be like masking as the good master, but I wasn't sure. Then after that, we meet our main characters, Sophie and Agatha. Now, I really like how they did their friendship in this one. I really like how that was done. They changed it where they were actually childhood friends. Agatha had kind of came to her after Sophie's mother died, which is not what happened in the book. Actually, in the book, Sophie kind of just saw Agatha as her good deed to get into the school for good. And I said before, like in my previous review about their friendship in the books and how I didn't like it, and it like if the author had like given them actual chemistry and their friendship was genuine, then like the conflicts throughout the series and like the book would like mean so much more, and they actually did that in this movie and like actually like fixed that problem that I had, and so I really like that. The movie is way more charitable to Sophie's character than the books. Sophie is like actually likable. If you watched my review for the first book, you know that I did not like Sophie. She was horrible. I really only got around to liking her in the second book. But no, they make her way more likable and actually sort of good friend to Agatha, and they give way too much credit to Raphael for her actions taken in this movie. Sophie is not like that in the books. She is selfish, she's vain. All she cares about is her happy ending, her happily ever after, and she'll do anything to get it. She is the main villain of the first book, not Raphael. She is not she's not like coerced by anyone. Her actions are her own. She's not manipulated. When we see Raphael like in the books like manipulating Sophie and like her actions, it's only in the third book when she's already like made some character growth sort of throughout the series and is sort of different. Like the way that the movie went about it, it was like Sophie was innocent and like good and wanted a more to her life, and she was kind of manipulated by Raphael, which does happen in the third book, but overall, Sophie is really not a good person, like, at all. Again, she does go through character growth and stuff, but it's over the course of, like, several books, and she becomes sort of good, but she still has her selfish Sophie moments. So yeah, I like that they made her more likable, but also don't really like that they made her bad decisions kind of dependent on Raphael. I think she should have just been the main villain. The set designs, the CGI, the costume designs, I loved all of it so much. So much of the sets and, like, the CGI, like, was, like, straight out of my imagination, exactly how I imagined it while reading the story. When I was watching it, I was like, oh my god, how did these people take this image from my mind and put it on the screen? That's so awesome. So yeah, that was really cool to see. Generally, I really liked the casting for all the characters in the story. The only, like, two little nitpicks that I have is I felt like Tedros looked too old. Like, maybe they should have casted a bit younger actor. And also, Annabelle in the book is described as having albinism, and I feel like when I was reading the book, I was like, oh wow, she has albinism. Like, I don't think I've ever, like, read about a character like that before, or really seen anyone like that in the movies. So I kind of wish that they had cast someone with albinism to play her, but, you know, it's just like a little nitpick. It's something that I thought would be cool to see that we don't really see that often. But that's just, like, two little nitpicks. Generally, like, the casting of all the characters, I think the actors played them pretty well. Another change that they made is they actually had Tedros have Excalibur in this movie, which I thought was interesting and makes me wonder, because a really big part of his arc later in the story, big spoiler warning, is that he can't pull Excalibur and he can't become king because of it. And that's, like, a big thing in his character arc, where he's finally kind of, like, humbled and, like, realizes, like, he, like, can't do this thing. Thought that was interesting, and I wonder, like, if they do continue with, like, the whole series and it comes to that book that they do an adaptation for, what they will do about that. Yeah, so I thought that was interesting, and I don't know if I like that, because I just feel like that's such a big part of his character arc and really kind of changes him and, like, has his ego shrink a bit. You know what I mean? So that was a thing. Oh, also, I really appreciate that they made Gregor an actual character. So, little light spoiler warning for the book. In the book, Gregor is just, like, a gargoyle that, like, kind of attacks Agatha, but then she, like, looks in his eyes and she realizes is just, like, a scared little boy. And that's what it's described by, like, a scared little boy. She looks in his eyes and sees a scared little boy, and then Tedros, knight in shining armor, goes and kills him. And it's horrible and tragic and awful. But the way that they do it in this is they make Gregor an actual character, like a likable, nice character that I wanted to learn more about and didn't remember that he dies. And then it just makes his death so much more, like, impactful, and I really respect and like that change that they did. But yeah, generally a great movie, 4 out of 5 stars, really liked it, definitely going to be watching it again. I'm really glad it lived up to my excitement for it. And I am going to be listening to that song at the end so much. I have already had that song on repeat. I think it's called Who Do You Think You Are? Masterpiece. Love it. But yeah, I think that's all. I feel like I've just been like rambling. Hopefully through editing I make sense. But I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like it. I would like to know your thoughts on the movie, if you disagree with me, if you agree with me, any of your thoughts, your review of the movie. I would really like to read that, so please comment below. Oh, and if you want to watch any of my reviews of the School for Good and Evil series, they're all on my channel. I have a playlist, so please check that out if you're interested. And I guess that's it. Bye, guys.